Hello you lot. I've had a lot of questions, and I mean quite a lot of questions, asking me all about CB radio recently, because everyone's got to stay at home and all set up radios. But a lot of people have asked me, what do I use in my van? Because you all know that I put a CB in my van, but what have I got? What's the setup? How's it all set up? Because it seems to work quite well. So I thought I'd show you. And I'll start from the antenna and I'll work my way down, shall I? Yeah, so the antenna is a Stereo High Power 3000, just on a PL 145 mag mount, I think that is. Quite long. I think it's 1.8 meters long. It's got the matching coil in it. You can bypass the matching coil if you want to. You buy an adapter so that you typical, focus on it like that I suppose. But you buy an adapter so you get rid of the coil that screws on there, and you just do that, and then you use the 3/8 mag mount. But the coil is good coil, the matching coils, they work well. So that wire goes through the side door and comes into the van. The wire comes down the wall, through the floor, under my carpet, comes up there, all the way up, and this is where my lovely radio is. I don't keep it there, I take it out. Now I'll explain all about that in a minute, but as far as the radio goes, it's a Thunderpole T3000, doesn't like being in focus, and I've coupled it up with a Capo microphone. These are okay, NM532 microphones, pretty good mics. I've got one on here, one at home that I use, and I've got a spare one which is an older one. These are alright, these mics, can't really complain about them, not that they're ever in focus. There we go. So that's what we've got. I have got a burner. Some people say, have I got a burner? Do I use a burner? There's a burner on here. It's an old one. You don't know I like the older stuff, so that is wired in, but I rarely have it on unless I need it. I don't know why. I've just, my ways of operating radio have changed. I'll explain about that in a moment. But as far as this radio goes, I like this radio. I've got the T800, as a lot of you will know, but I swapped it for this T3000 because I wanted to test it. I got it from Thunderpole, a little bit of a discount from them before they released it. I pre-ordered it, that T3000, because I wanted to test it and get a review out for you lot. For when it was released. So I've put it in here, and I've found that it fits a lot better in where I've got the radio. There's not a lot of space in these vans to put radios really, unless I was going to put screw holes all over the place. So I've put the T800 in a different application, and I've got the T3000 in here, and I like it because it's got a detachable power lead. I like to take my radio out whenever I get out of the van. If I park in a car park, or if I park at home or anywhere, I take the radio out and I take it with me, because I'm just possessive like that. So people are still going to break into vans and in cars anyway, but if they break in and they get nothing, you know, I'll take everything that's valuable with me. So there we go. So it's got a detachable power lead, and obviously you know the PL259's just unscrewed from the SO239s. Now let's explain about the amplifier. Yep, I've got an amplifier. I run a set of boots. A lot of the places when I'm close to people, I can get out on 4 watts, which is the legal limit. I can get out on that and talk to most people perfectly well, no trouble whatsoever. However, sometimes where I go, I'm right out in the sticks, you know, and people just can't hear me. Stick the burner on, get about 50 watts out of that from my memory. I dare say I'll stand to be corrected on what those actually give, but from when I tested that on the dummy load, I do believe with 4 watts in was 50 out on FM. Anyway, so that's that gets me heard, and I'm a big believer in being responsible anyway. When I first got into CB radio, or any CB radio, and I learned about power and all that, I was like, got to have as much as possible, you know. Of course you have. Get 100 watts, sit at 100 watts, talk to my mate down the road who's 3 houses down on 100 watts. And then a little while after that, after I'd settled down, I'd had me fun, I'd realised you don't need that, that's no good. So for the last sort of 5 years, 6 years, I just run the amount of power that I need. So the burner is there when I'm out in the sticks and I'm not going to cause any interference to anybody and nobody's really going to care, and I want to be heard. When I'm in a built up area and I can just talk to everybody anyway, because you can on 4 watts, I don't have it on. So let's see who we got on here this afternoon. Doesn't seem to be anybody on there this afternoon. Usually channel 19 around here is the one to be on. But there doesn't appear to be anyone on there at the moment.
Well, me personally,
I lied, there's someone.
I would put up 3 pieces of wood, you know, a couple of feet away from the corner, say 5 feet, maybe 8 feet away from the corner.
Talking about something, I don't know what you're on about.
And then go.
Also, another reason why I like having this sort of antenna is because they're easy to unscrew. And because of the way I am, I'm quite possessive about my possessions. If I park in a car park or if I'm in an area that's a bit dodgy, I'll just simply reach up, unscrew my aerial and take that with me as well. So there's very, you know, if they want to take the mag mount they can, but they won't get the aerial. Also, the radio isn't wired into the battery. The radio itself is on the cigarette plug, I'm afraid. And this T3000 comes with a power lead already with a cigarette plug on it, cigarette lighter plug on it. So that's what I've just used. It sometimes interferes, sometimes it don't. This van's a bit weird. Sometimes you'll get the old tick 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 tick, sometimes you don't, but it's never that bad. The burner, you should have the radio wired directly to the battery if you're going to do it properly. The burner, on the other hand, because it draws more than 10 amps with the radio as well, I don't want the fuse on that, and the wiring's only for 10 amps. And you should always wire a burner or any sort of amplifier anyway straight to a battery. Luckily in this van, the battery is underneath the floor where my feet go. So it's very easy to do, very short run of cable. Just run down under the floor on the battery with a fuse. What have I got on it? A 12 amp fuse. I think it's a 12 amp fuse, I think. Not sure. 10 or 12 amp fuse. Yeah, very simple. So yeah, as far as you lot have wondered what it was and what I've got, now you know. If I weren't so possessive about, some people leave all their radios and everything in their cars and vans, but I've already explained, I'm very possessive over it. I don't take it, I don't leave anything valuable. If someone's going to break in, they're not going to get nothing unless they take the whole lot. So I would have something like a 6900 or something a bit more, so I could have sidebands and whatever else in here. But I'm happy with just CB. CB is good enough for me, it's all I really use. Well, I'm out and about anyway. So I can just, that's a small enough radio as well, I can just unplug it. You know how small they are, very small, I just showed you. Unplug it, just put it in my hand, put it in my pocket if I wanted to. It's slim enough, it's a bit long but it's slim enough. So I usually just put it in my bag or something, or if I'm out with the missus, put it in her bag, put it in her handbag. Anyway, yeah, there we go, you lot. If you make videos, why not make a video and let me know and what you've got in your car, and then we can all see, you know, I'd like to see other people's, you know, what they've done, how they've wired things in and things like that. And don't forget, if you want to keep in touch with people, especially now with what's going on, CB's brilliant, man. Put one in your car. You know, I talk to people as I'm driving around. There's all kinds of people popping up that you talk to. You never know who you're going to talk to next. It's really good. I'll catch you on the next one, dudes. Take care, wouldn't you? Any questions, just ask and I'll do my best to help you out. All the best.